Hey everyone, this is Sean from Stack Intelligence, and today I'm going to show you how to fix the Apex heap size too large error in CPQ. You'll typically see this error when trying to configure a product with hundreds of product options. Having this many products is a pretty common use case for most manufacturing companies. Now, Salesforce's recommendation is to keep the product options under 800 max, but unfortunately that is not possible for us sometimes. Enabling large configurations in the CPQ package settings may solve this problem, but I've found that it usually does not. So let's take a look at how we can solve this problem using CPQ's best practices. First, let's jump into our parent product and take a look at how it's configured. Here we have the custom product, which is our parent bundle product. On this product, we have two features, software and hardware. Clicking into the product options, we can see we have options into the thousands. Trying to generate a quote with our custom product configured, Salesforce will instantly throw a heap size too large error. I'm going to jump into a quote here and select our custom product. Going to just find a recent quote, edit lines, and add our custom product. And so we can see after working for a bit, Salesforce will spit out this nasty generic error message. Now the fix to this Apex error is to use dynamic bundles instead. There's about 5 steps we need to take to set up dynamic bundles. I'm going to be jumping into my other CPQ org where I've already implemented this fix, so let's jump in. So let's start with step 1, which is to update the option selection method for the feature with over 1,000 options. So here I'm going to click into our hardware feature, which has a large number of product options. We're going to update the option selection method here and set it to dynamic. This is usually not the default, but it allows us to configure the product without hitting Apex limits. For this, we also won't be using product option records anymore. Instead, it'll all just be product records. So once we have this set up and working, we can go ahead and delete those product options on the hardware feature. I like to use data loader. So moving on, step 2 is to select a field that will be used for filtering. And we need to create this field on the product 2 object as well as the product option object. For this example, we're using a custom field called product family that just looks up to the standard product family field. You can see we have that field here on the product option set to the value text, parentheses, family, close parentheses. Now moving on to the product options, we also have a text formula field here with the same API name. The only difference is that the actual value of this field doesn't matter to us, so you can just add any irrelevant text and quotes. This is because the filtering will all be done off the product record, hence why we do not even need to create product option records for our hardware child products. Now that being said, the field on the product option must exist and it must have the same API name and the same return type as the field that we created on the product, or this use case won't work at all. Now moving on to step 3 is to create a product rule that will enable the filtering. So let's jump into our product rules and take a look at how this was set up. We've created a product rule by the name hardware options filter. We need to set it as active, set the type to filter, and the scope to product. Conditions met will be all, although we will not be using any conditions for this since we want CPQ to filter for all quotes and all accounts. The evaluation event will be always, and that's it for the product rule. Next on the product rule, we'll create a product action. The type for this will be set to default filter and the filter field set to our previously created prod family field. We'll set the operator to equals and our filter value to hardware. And that's all for the product action. Lastly, we'll need to create a configuration rule on the same product rule, which ties the rule to the parent product and the designated feature, which in our case are our custom product and our hardware feature. We want to make sure this is also set as active and the product rule should already be pre-populated with our product rule. Now we've completed the setup for dynamic bundles, so let's jump back into our quote and try to configure the same custom product. So I'll go ahead and select our custom product, and as you can see, we instantly load into the configuration screen. No more Apex heap limit errors. If we jump over to our hardware feature, we can see all of our options are not preloaded anymore, thus making our Salesforce much more performant. Here we can select as many options as we like, and we'll also be able to set the quantity of each one after we click add. Let's just update some quantities here and click save. So now we've successfully added our custom parent product along with all the options that we selected. Thanks guys, that's all for this video. I'll send a link to the official Salesforce Docs on how to set this up. That'll be in the description here. And that's all related to CPQ and dynamic bundling and just how to make your quoting more performant when you have over hundreds and maybe even thousands of product options. I hope you found this helpful. Until next time.